It's good fun, actually. It is good fun because we've all gone and done our own thing, and then, you know, we come back together as a group and there's like so much to talk about, and it's great to have the best of both worlds, isn't it? Being part of a band, but then also, you know, going out and doing your own thing as well. So it's been really, really good fun. We've had a good few weeks, haven't we?
I think now as well, it's funny because everyone seems to keep asking us, what's it like to be back together? But the truth of the matter is we haven't really been apart. You know, although in the public point of view, you know, we've not been doing that much together. But behind the scenes, we've been in and out of the studio, and we see each other, you know, on other occasions. So, you know, it's like, it is different to be back and performing again, and that's the best bit, isn't it?
Well, we'd spent quite a lot of time, you know, doing our own thing. And, you know, we said that, you know, we'd like to do another album. And I think that it was just wanting to, you know, two of us had had babies, everybody'd done their own thing. I mean, Melanie done a hell of a lot of travelling on her own, and it was just nice to get back together and do this album.
I think it was just in the pipeline anyway when we were on tour. It was something that we talked about a lot. Although Melanie and Victoria were pregnant, it was something we always knew we wanted to go ahead and do, and it just sort of just happened. Just happened.
Well, I think personally, that's one thing that was a natural progression that all of us did. I mean, it was not a thing really that we even sat down and said, right, in the year, whatever, you go off and do this. It just kind of happened. Yeah. And, you know, with Melanie going off and touring and doing her stuff, it gives everybody a bit of downtime. And it's like, well, let's, you know, do a bit of this, do a bit of that, presenting. And I think it's a really natural thing for us all to do. And because we're all workers and we like to keep ourselves busy as well as relaxing, you know, it's like, itchy feet.
Itchy feet.
Itchy feet.
I think that where everybody's gone off and worked, we've all worked with some fantastic people, haven't we? Really diverse people, and we've learned a lot, and we can come back and we can share that with each other. And it does make the Spice Girls more interesting, I think, and it keeps us refreshed, like, you know, Victoria was saying, about going off and doing our own thing. And it just keeps it fresh for us, rather than if we were just doing, you know, Spice Girls, maybe we would be a little bit frustrated or a little bit stagnant. So it's nice to keep moving. Keep on moving.
We really vibe off each other. We always have done, you know.
I think we complement each other as well.
Yeah.
Because we are quite different.
We're all very different.
And now we're a bit older as well. We're a bit more laid back. You know, we're not really up for going in your face 24 hours a day anymore. It's just like, you know, chilling. We've proved it, you know, we've got girl power. Girl power rules. Look at all the girl bands that are now, so.
It's part of our lives. It's not that we sit there and preach it and say to people, we're living proof that, you know, girl power's still there. I mean, I'm a single parent mother. Emma's very, very independent. We all work together. We sort out our own stuff. You know, it's about being, I don't know, headstrong and believing in yourself and, you know, knowing what you want out of life and expecting the best for yourself.
And it's not that we hate men, we love them.
I love men.
It's just that, you know, we are stronger now and have our own beliefs. We don't follow everything that a man says.
There's some really strong songs on this album. I mean, that's something that we all still believe so much in. You know, and as we write all the songs, co-write all the songs, then that message still does get across. But it's not quite so in your face.
Yeah, I think, you know, whenever we write as a band, it would be very difficult to not have the influence of, you know, girl power in there, because it's the way that we all live our lives. It's our inspiration to, you know, go along and be strong women. So there's always going to be a flavour in there.
We all had a different view as to what song we were going to release first. Yeah. And then we all decided Holler. And then I know I got a bit cold feet about it. I'll never forget making a phone call to Emma saying, Emma, come on, what do you think? It's down to you. Do we go with this song or this song? And she went, oh no! And then she went, no, it has to be Holler. And we're all like, yes, right, well, let's just go for it. And if anything goes wrong, we just blame it on Emma.
On me. Because the thing is, you know, when we all make a decision, that's usually the right one. And so I think it's best that we stick to it.
That's what we do.
And then it's our fault, nobody else's. Yours too.
No, you were the one that was saying, no, come on now, doesn't matter what anybody says, let's just stick with this one.
Yeah.
This is the one we said from the beginning, let's not kind of, you know, get all flaky about it and worried. Because it is important, you know, we have been away for quite a while in the public eye, so the first song that we're going to release is going to get scrutinised, loved, hated, whatever. So we have to be 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely, I'd love to say no, but I always get my own way.
I think it's quite funny because a friend of mine, well, my boyfriend, and he always says to me,
Oh, Melanie's boyfriend.
my boyfriend says to me, you're not getting your own way with me. And I think it's quite true, you know, we do tend to get our own way a lot of the time. So it's quite nice to have someone there who sort of tells you how it is.
Oh, I don't. I always like to get my own way. I never like to be told that's how it is. Nothing that a good old saucepan around the head wouldn't sort out anyway.
I think it's a bit of give and take.
I think
Sometimes
so.
I like to, I'm sure you do, you like to be bossed about a little bit. And then you like to be
And
the
I
boss.
like to be able to give. Do you know what I mean? That's the best
Give
part.
and receive.
Yeah.
It's a great way of having a fantastic relationship.
A little bit of
So they
everything.
say.
Not at all.
Not
I
at
think
all.
that was just really a natural progression that we've all kind of just grown up in our individual ways and just, you know, it wasn't like we all went, right, we're going to put leather on and look
Yeah.
older. It didn't work like that. The whole leather look
how it
came because the
happens,
video was futuristic and quite hard. And then, you know, our individual things just came individually.
But if you actually look at what we're wearing, it is still quite similar to how we've dressed way back. It's just we're all in the same colour, and I think we've never really done that. That's why
Yeah.
people are so much like, oh, you've all changed the image. It's like, well, no, we
No.
haven't. Well, we do all blend and do group images.
Yeah, we try and do the group image, but it doesn't quite work.
Oh, we all just stick t-shirts
Let's all
on,
put
right?
suits on, and they're like, oh, it doesn't work.
Actually, when we was on tour and we did that live link up for Top of the Pops, when we did, was it Goodbye? We all had our own versions
Oh,
of
yeah.
suits on, and that worked quite well.
That was nice. And when
They're
we
all
did
really different, though.
our premieres of the film,
Yeah,
we all
had
that was quite
yeah.
good fun actually because we never dressed the same, and to do
No.
that was quite funny.
We've taken our time with it. We could have blocked out 3 months and done it, but we didn't want to do it like that. You know, when we wrote Spice World, there was a lot going on. We were doing the movie. It was all very intense. We wanted to enjoy the process a lot more. There's no rush. You know, we want to enjoy our lives. We want to go off and explore new ventures and things. But, you know, we want to make a good album. So spread over the long periods of time gives you a lot more scope. The main thing that I miss, I expect we're all the same probably, when we're doing our solo work is a companionship. And you have loads of people around you, but it's not the same, do you know what I mean? Because we are good mates, aren't we? And we do have a giggle. We have our ups and downs, but we do have a giggle.
Sometimes, you know, it can be, especially for you, I mean, being on tour and being on your own, it can be quite lonely
Yeah.
sometimes. But so it's good to have, you know, all of your friends around you. I think it's
Just
good.
a
I
different
mean,
dynamic, wasn't it?
yeah, and I'd say that it now more than ever feels more equal. You know, we're all getting
Yeah,
a chance to do
that's really
everything. We're all
true.
getting a chance to
Yeah.
speak up about what we believe in. You know, so
There's
I'd
not
say
so
it's
many
a lot
power
more.
struggles.
No, it's a lot more relaxed, and I'd say that we're all. I mean, personally speaking, a lot happier. I mean, we're really having good fun with this album.
It's when we come together, it just happens. There's no explanation or back history work that you do. It's just when we're together, it's like zzz,
Yeah.
and it just comes alive.
But because a lot of people were like, when we said about we were working with Rodney Jerkins, Jamalis, everyone was like, oh, so it's really R&B then. And the thing is, it is obviously moved on naturally, but it has to be sparkly and still, you know, that everything's got that edge.
I think probably less on this album than the other two, because I think with Rodney, he's such a fantastic producer, and it's, you know, the songs are our babies, but the production's his thing, you know what I mean? So, but if there's anything we didn't like, he'd come back and play it. Hey girls, what do you think of this? If there's something we didn't like, it'd be changed. But really, you'd have to go off and let him work and do his magic, isn't it really? Whereas in the past, we've worked more closely because they've been, you know, people who we've known for longer, and it's all been in England, so.
Well, we started off in Sheffield, and then we did some tracks in London, and then we went over to Miami.
Yeah, we were in Miami for a little while.
Goodbye, of course, was done in Nashville.
Yeah. But I think most of the album was done in London.
Most of the album we've actually done with American producers, with Rodney Jerkins and also Jam and Lewis. Actually, Right Back at You and Goodbye are the only 2 tracks that we did with our original writing team, if you like. This is more American sounding for us, but then I think that's the way that pop music's going.
But you know, also I think it's really difficult to say now about, you know, music being from a certain country, because we can be in a studio, it doesn't matter where in the world, you've got the same equipment, you know, you can have an American producer, English musicians, and you know, there's just, I mean, when I was doing my album, there was like people from all over the world, and some of it was written in England, some of it was written in Ireland, some of it was recorded in America, and music's universal now, so it really doesn't matter. It's a combination of talents, international talents. I think that was one of the things that we wanted to put across in one of the tracks. We just feel like since the first single, Wannabe, the song that broke us into the world of pop music, and people have been saying, oh, it's the end of them, they're a one-hit wonder, they're this, they're that, and we've had to deal with that all the way through our career, and here we are with our 3rd album coming right back at you, so it's just about that, really.
We wrote that with Elliot, who worked on our last 2 albums, who did Say You'll Be There and stuff like that, and we like that track, don't we? It's kind of just a track saying we're coming back. Here. We're back, even though people said we weren't.
Since we brought out Wannabe, I mean, I know it's a bit, we don't really talk about it that much, but every now and again it does crop up with one of us. It's like, since we released Wannabe, people have been saying, the press, oh, they'll never release a second single. Oh, they'll never release a first album. Oh, they'll never release a second album. It's been a constant thing. It's like even now, they'll break up after this 3rd album. It's like, come on, we've been doing it for 5 years. We're still here. We're still doing what we're doing. And we've got the pleasure of being able to go off and do our own thing, as well as still being a rock-solid band, which I think people can't comprehend that.
Why can't they just enjoy what we do, our albums? You know, it'd be so nice if the press said, oh, well, you know, we're looking forward to this next album, and saying, oh, after this album, they're definitely breaking up. It's like, oh.
They always have to have an angle.
Why everything have to be so negative? It should be, you know, positive.
I'd like to hope so. You know, and I think on this album maybe we will get more fans, you know, because you know, even though we still sound like the Spice Girls, it is a different sound for us, isn't it? It's more R&B, it is more grown up, it's not so poppy as we were. So I'm hoping that we are going to keep the same fans and hopefully more.
I've found doing a lot of touring, you know, just doing my solo stuff as well. There's so many Spice fans out there, you know, and I get banners at my gigs for Spice, and it's like they're so supportive through everything we've done, all of our solo ventures, and you know, everything we do as a team. They're just there for us, so we've got really good fans, and we're lucky because they've been waiting a while for this one, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
Our fans all over the world have always been
brilliant.
You know, always been by our sides, always been writing, when's the next single, we love the, you know, it's always so positive with all our fans throughout the world.
And it's mad because we'll get letters that say Emma London or Melanie London, and it gets to your house. It's funny.
It's mad.
We have a still good flow of fan mail coming through the Spice office and the Spice website and stuff like that.
It's the best part.
And it's brilliant. Yeah. It's from like 2-year-olds to 74-year-olds.
At the moment, I'm getting a big rush of like 16-year-old boys.
Oh, great!
It's quite nice.
Send them over.
Yeah. I was thinking that I might write the next one. Can you send Mel some? You get like a different, like, you know, a couple of weeks ago I was getting real babies, you know, children with mums writing in saying, oh, my little girl. And then you get a rush of like 16-year-old boys. It's great.
What were you wearing that week?
I don't know, exactly.
People do look up to us and do have respect for us because, as like Melanie said, you can't take away from us what we've achieved. I wouldn't say ambassadors. I mean, we're proud to be British sometimes.
I think, you know, that's one sad thing about England, like slightly touching on what we were saying before, is like, you know, it's difficult for the British, the media, or rather the tabloid media, to be proud of their exports. And, you know, I think of us, we're a great British export. I think we're like an Olympic athlete. Do you know what I mean? We're proud of them, so why can't we be proud of someone who's bringing so much money into the country? You know, they just want to put us down. But hey, they put Olympians down, don't they? You know, they say disgusting things about everybody, so that's just the cynical British way.
I think it's really hard to say, do you know what I mean? We are lucky that we get fan mail and being able to write back to people, and, you know, they say, oh, I really want to do this at school, how do I, you know, and it's lovely that we can write back and give them our opinions, but you never go, oh, I'm an icon.
Today.
Today. I don't
think any of us think like that. I think we're too busy in just doing and enjoying what we're doing. And, you know, every now and again you get a massive, overwhelming feedback, and it's that overwhelming. It's like, oh, you just don't know what to do with it apart from be immensely grateful. I think as well, I mean, I don't know about you, but I was quite shocked to hear the statistics of how many times people are requesting the Spice Girls videos still.
We wrote a lot of songs that aren't on the album, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think it was just about personal experiences that we've all been through, ways that we're all feeling. Obviously, we've done a lot of travelling, you know.
We've never said, we need another wannabe. You know, there's a lot of pop acts where record company and management are very influential in the artistic side, which I think is a shame because the band's the band, unless they're puppets, which some unfortunately are. But, you know, we've always been very in control of our music, and so we've never gone out to make the perfect records. We've gone out to do what we want to do, what we feel comfortable with, whatever the climate of how we're feeling at the time. So, you know, it just turns out the way it turns out.
Everybody takes on songs to adapt to their own situation, and even amongst the four of us we do when we're writing. I mean, somebody might listen to it and think, oh, it's about this, or it's about that. Somebody else might listen to it and think, oh yeah, it's about how I was feeling last week.
We basically sit down, decide what kind of mood we're all in that day, which is usually the same.
Good.
And we just come up with melodies, lyrics. Sometimes we'll sit there and get a whole song done in 10 minutes, and another time it will take a whole day.
Stuck.
You know, it just depends on the vibe we're in.
What was the saying we had? Let it incubate.
Yeah.
Was it let it wait?
Just
let it incubate.
Because you'd write a whole song and you'd be stuck on one line, and you'd be like, right, I can't.
Driving you mad.
Yeah, it drives you mad. So you kind of put it away and let it rest, and then go back to it.
And it was funny as well when we first walked, or maybe it was the second time when we worked in Miami. We walked in the studio. And Rodney had obviously been tired because he works with, you know, he does work with a lot of people, and it's not just us who he's worked with. And he had all these different tracks, like backbeats. We were like, nope, don't like that, don't like that. We made him do a whole new track for us there and then. He spent all night. We were like, when we come back to the studio, we want a track that sounds like this, 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 and this. Because obviously, you know, whatever goes on our album, we have to be proud of, and we're very much involved in everything. And I think he thought, oh, maybe they'll just have this track. And we were like, no.
So we sat down and went, bass, and we want that louder, we want that louder, put that down.
Really annoyed him.
And he's a big time producer.
He's so sweet though, you know. He's
lovely.
So sweet, that guy. And it's funny because when we was actually writing, I mean, there's quite a few songs on there that are very much like, listen, geezer, if you don't get this right, then you've had it. And because obviously we're working in a predominantly male environment, they're like that. You can't say, it's like, well, listen to the first and second album, love, and then you'll get the idea. We have to put this down.
They weren't having it at all.
This is how it goes. Oh, you can't tell a man to do that. Oh, yes, we can.
But then we decided to do a real love one, didn't we?
Yeah, which is the first time we've done that.
First time ever.
And tell you what we did, which was really good. We all went off into our own corner and wrote down what our version of love is. And then we came together, we all had our own melodies, and that's how that song was written.
Actually, looking back, we were kind of at different stages, and now we've all moved on again, and it's like...
I wasn't in love then, I'm sure. I mean, it's like a gang of girls, you know, there's always something going on. Or somebody's got a high, somebody's got a low, somebody's in the middle.
We're all quite happy at the moment.
We are. Bit stressed, but happy.
And getting it.
Getting it real good. Life, that is, we're getting life.
I think everything that happens to the Spice Girls is an inspiration for what we write. So, you know, performance comes along with that. But really, it's just, I think there's like things in everyday life that inspire us more. Like, you know, especially Victoria gets a lot, I mean, we all do, but Victoria seems to get the most interest from the press and mainly criticism. And that's something that's very hard to deal with. And I think that's quite inspirational in our work as well, isn't it? We always kind of, I don't know, we just want to be happy and we want to prove to ourselves that we're good. You know, we're good enough for us, so if anybody's going to knock us down, then that's just their opinion.
I love time.
Time is beautiful.
It's very, very slow, and it can be a bit like, oh, but if you actually listen to it when you're start off in a good mood, not a depressed mood, it's just so lovely.
Time goes by, but we stand still. Love you for eternity, I will.
No, it does, I know it does. Oh, like
beautiful. That. We said, let's do a ballad where we're in love. We don't, you know,
we're not
gonna tell him what to do. We're not gonna say, I'm in love with you, but don't push it. So we just did a pure ballad, and at the time I think we all were thinking about men in our lives.
I like If You Want to Have Some Fun, which we did with Jam and Lewis. I really like that. And I also like the one that, last Rod Lee one, with Fred and
Wasting My Time?
Yeah.
Wasting My Time.
Yeah, that's another one of my favourites. I have two favourites on the album.
I like Let Love the Other Way as well. That's going to be the double A to Hollow, and that's a really nice ballad, isn't it? But they're all good songs. There isn't a weak link.
The message is that there is so much, like, there is horrible things going on outside the world, and you have to watch it every day and stuff like that. But for us, we just kind of you have to let love, you know, take you
like
wherever you want to go, and believe in yourself and trust yourself and kind of go with it and try and wash them other horrible things away.
And I'll tell you what I also like about that song is it does openly say, well, what if that happens, or what if that happens, you know, where will I be? Then the chorus is the kind of just let love lead the way vibe.
When we were writing that, there was nobody in mind. I think we started originally writing that about a homeless person, didn't we?
Yeah.
Originally.
Yeah. So I think it's like, it could be anyone. You know, it's something that we all do. Sometimes we're feeling lonely and we can look out and see all the... I mean, it's something that we have all felt. It's like, you know, you switch on the TV and you see all the death and destruction on the news and you just think, you know, why? Why is the world like this? And when you're very young and your innocence and naivety, and then when you start finding out all the horrible things about the world, it just really lets you down, doesn't it? So that's what it's about, really. Just hoping that love will lead you to better places and better things. One of my fondest memories of Let Love Lead the Way was we'd finished everything, but I was water. We all take on different elements. I was water in that one. So it was about, I think it was about 10 p.m. on the second day shooting, and I had to get soaking wet. And it wasn't a pleasant thing, it was cold water. And they had to change the camera scenes as well. So, and I mean, I was fully clothed, I had like a vest, trousers, boots, big boots up to here on, and I was drenched, and I had to wait 10 minutes sitting there at 10 o'clock at night waiting for them to move the cameras. So that's the fun of videos.
In Holler,
I'm water.
Water.
And Mel is
fire. Let Love.
I'm earth.
I'm
wind.
I'm air.
Air. She used to say wind.
I'm
wind.
I'm an airhead.
And the whole thing about, I think when we came up with the ideas was that, you know, even though we are different elements and we are very, you know, different people, when we come together, we you know, we're the same and it works fantastic. We're individuals, but when we come together, it just goes right into place.
It's like Feng Shui, you need all 4 elements to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Let Love Lead the Way, I Was Fire, which was good because for me, you know, I had a little strappy dress on and it was fine because it was really, really hot. And then for Holler, I was Air. So I was quite lucky. Yeah, I was sort of like dancing around on ski boots. They nailed ski boots to the floor and made me kind of lean forward in them and all that kind of thing. It was fine. I mean, obviously videos are always going to be difficult because it's long hours, early mornings, late nights. Boring. You're in some poxy bloody caravan thing and that's a bit...
Yeah, boring.
Yeah, and it is really, really boring. I'd say Let Love Lead the Way was actually good fun. Yeah. It was really good fun because it was very quick. Yeah. It was a really early day. And we just had fun doing it. Holler took a long, long time. It's the waiting around.
Especially when you're doing your own videos, it's different, isn't it? Because you're on set the whole time and it's done. You might be there all day and all night. You're knackered, but at least you're doing something. But when there's a band, everyone's doing the separate bits. So you're just sitting in a Winnebago most of the day eating like that.
Yeah, that's all you just do, just sit and eat all day.
It's passionate, isn't it? It's a passionate song. Yeah, that's one of our favourites too.
I think that all of the singles on this album...
All of the singles?
Yeah, I think they are all singles. They all could be singles, you know, as Melanie said, you know, there's no sort of ones that you skip when you're listening to them. No fillers. No, they're all very good and they could all be singles.
Let me tell ya.
Yeah.
About the night
That's the one.
Gonna show ya.
That's the one.
I love that one.
That's the one. All of them,
I
darling.
think all of them. I think, do you know what? Because the album is so dancey and stompy.
It is.
The crowd, I think, would really enjoy it and have a good boogie.
My mum's got a favourite one. What's that one, Mum, that you like, that you just have to dance to? She went, it's the one where you see a guy from across the room, you're at an after
If
party.
you want to have some fun, track me down and get my love.
But my mum turns it up and goes like that.
It was something we all came up with, wasn't it? We all sat down, and it's like, because it's just putting the boot on the other foot, really. Because it's always the girl who's doing the ringing, when will we see you again? And all that, and we thought, no, this time, you know, we want to be the ones in control. The guy is gagging for it. She's not interested. Weekend love, that's all you was.
Yeah.
Move on.
That's it.
Pack your bags, next one in. Guys think they're the bee's knees anyway, so I think, you know, us girls have got to big ourselves up. So that's what it's all about, girls. Guys are too confident.
I think we all worked so hard on the vocals this time, and also working with American producers.
They challenge you.
They push you to the limit, do you know what I mean? Which is great because we're learning as well.
So many times he'd go, right, I've got a really diva-y lick for you to do, which is all that quabbling stuff. Before he'd even sung it to us, a few of us were like, no,
we're not doing
can't
that.
do that. Can't. But then by the end of it, it's like, yeah, I want to sing like this, and you kind of just go for it. And the album is really strong, and it is the first time the 4 of us have done an album together. I mean, the last 2 albums have been with 5 of us, so we've had a chance to really concentrate and all 4 of us sing, you know, properly.
Yeah.
I just think now, it's like we really do egg each other on more now. Because I used to be able to cop out and go, I can't do high. I just can't sing high. Whereas
And
now
I'd have to do it, but now I'm like,
come
no,
on.
Melanie, go and do it.
And you've been singing low.
Yeah.
We kind of mixed and matched and swapped about a bit. It's been good.
Usually when we're writing, it's quite obvious. We kind of even write for each other, don't we? We sort of know, you know, whose voice is going to suit the best, because we are all quite different in, you know, in the way that we sound. We've got quite diverse voices, so it usually just falls into place. I hope people can even just listen on the radio and they know who's who. I don't know whether that's a bit naive to think that they do.
I think that they can, because I think we all sound very, very different, you know, we all really complement each other.
I think we've done it on like fun tracks like Wannabe. There was a lot of that held in the studio, but you know, to get a good sound, you need to be all boothed off on your own. But we're always, you know, on the other side by the desk going, go on. So we're always around.
It's cool. And you know, we're critical of each other as well, you know. We
Which
know
is
how
good.
each other can sound best.
Yeah, because we can get an honest opinion from each other about everything, and, you know, and there's not many people in this world who will give you that honest opinion. Apart from your mum, thanks mum.
People shake, you know, and it's
You get all
weird.
nervous and like that. I'm only a person. But it's just, I mean, when I'm on my own, when you're on your own, is it really different? When I'm on my own, people are dead different. They're just like, oh, you know, oh, it might be a bit different with you.
I don't know though, yeah, but you probably don't notice it. That's what it is, you probably don't
When we're
notice
together,
it.
everyone's like that around. Not everybody, but a lot of people. And it freaks me out. I don't like it. I just
No,
want
but
to be
people
treated
are
normal.
like that to you when you're on your own. You just don't notice it because it's just you.
I don't think you can get more normal than what we
Yeah,
do.
we're totally.
I mean, outside of performing and interviews and all that business.
I think you either make your life where you can't go down the road
A
and
recluse.
get your milk and stuff like that, whereas we, you know, we just go out. And especially once you go out in your little village and people get to know you, they're like, oh, it's her again.
Well, fine.
So it's fine, and, you know, perfect.
I think as well, because even though we take what we do seriously, we actually, I mean,
Laugh at it.
when we see each other on TV, it's like, it's actually
Yeah.
quite amazing and funny. So we don't take ourselves that seriously, where we're that secluded within our own, I don't know, celebrity image. You know, what you see is what you get with all of us.
Exactly.
Apart from first thing on the morning, we look really. Actually, you look good in the morning.
I know, I don't.
No, you do look good in the
I
morning.
get bags at the moment.
I look frightening, but I do a
Mel
good
does.
before and after.
We do makeovers.
Great. A good.
Oh my
Everything's
dear.
great. You know it is. A nice hot shower, and away
Yeah.
you go.
A good bath, and, you know, I don't know.
Do you know what,
Soap and
actually?
water.
Can I just say, what gives you a fantastic glow is a really stomping night out.
Yeah.
You wake up with not a care in the world. You know when you go to bed absolutely exhausted
Yeah.
from dancing so much, and you go
And
to
then
bed
you
like
wake
that.
up and like, ooh.
That always
That
gives
is
you a
good.
good look. I just think, but in general, I think feeling good about yourself, not being too fussy about this, this, and this, and this. Just getting on with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think whatever we're doing, we always seem to have fun. We did Top of the Pops, didn't we, yesterday? And there's always moments. I think that's the thing about being with, you know, a gang of girls. There's never a dull moment, really. There's some horrible moments. But there's never a dull moment. But, you know, we get fun out of most things. You know, it's even out of a bad situation, we usually end up laughing, don't we? You've got to, man, because life's too serious. Just got to have fun.
We're really busy with the Spy stuff, and we're still really busy with individual stuff. Like, you know, I'm finished on my album. Mel B's album's out at the moment. You know, so it's all quite hectic.
But it's quite good as well because, like, say when I go off and do promotion, I'm going to Japan, I can go off and do my promotion, but it's like I can't help but talk about the Spice Girls as well because that's,
So
you know, that's my baby, that is.
We've all been really, really busy. But you know, you've got 4 people releasing their own thing and Spice Girls, so that's like 5 things. So, you know, things are going to overlap and it is hard work, but I think, you know, we all enjoy it so much. I think we all like to be busy, don't we?
Yeah, I think it keeps us out of trouble.
I think because I had the Tintin Out single, that kind of kept me busy for a while, and then I did some presenting VH1 and I did CD UK and stuff like that, so that was really hectic. But during all that, I've been working on my album, which is nearly finished now, and that's going to be out.
How many songs have you got?
I've got about 25 tracks.
Lord, that's 3 albums worth.
I know.
Give
So we
me
don't have to
a
do
piece of my
anymore.
neck.
So that's going to be out hopefully March, April of next year. People are always saying we're going to split up, and we're going to be around for a long time.
So I think people forget, as a group, we're not only friends and Spice Girls, we have a business together. We're business partners, and we advise each other, and we constantly support each other.
Yeah.
So there's all that involved into what we are to each other professionally and personally, and it kind
also
of overlaps.
As friends, do you know what I mean? That is one of the main things forever, because we're friends. Whether, you know, we don't do another album for a while, it doesn't mean we're not Spice Girls and together.
There's a lot of connotations to the title, but one that, you know, that I really liked was, you know, even in years to come, maybe the Spice Girls won't be around, you know? But what we've done and what we've achieved, we've made history, and no one can take that away from us. So, you know, no one's going to forget what's been done. So Spice Girls, you know, hopefully the memory will live on forever. And of course, just to say that we will be together forever. If we're not making music together, we'll be, you know, the Spice Girls are going to be around forever.
Hi, I'm Victoria.
And I'm Melanie C. And here's Let Love Lead the Way.
Hi! I'm Emma.
I'm Melanie B from the Spice Girls, and this is
Let Love Lead the Way.
Hi, I'm Victoria.
And I'm Melanie C.
And here's
Holla.
Hi, I'm Melanie B.
And I'm Emma from the
Spice Girls, and this is Holla. Hi. I'm Mel B.
And I'm Emma from the
Spice Girls, and you're watching Holla.
Hi, I'm Victoria.
I'm Melanie C.
Happy Christmas!
And a Happy New Year!
Hi, I'm Melanie B.
And I'm Emma.
From the Spice Girls.
Yes.
And Santa's coming very,
Very soon. So have a Merry Christmas
And a Happy New Year! Make your New Year's resolution
now.